Some houses feel old. Some houses feel strange. And then there are houses that feel like they're paying attention to you, where the layout doesn't make sense, where doors don't lead where they should. Tonight, we're stepping inside a house that never stopped changing and really doesn't make much sense. This is a story about the Winchester Mystery House, the house that refuses to settle. Welcome back to Macabre Mondays, where mystery meets the macabre with your favorite Deadly Mary duo. I'm Olive.
And I'm Tom.
Your guides through the strange, the sinister, and the spooky. Spooky. We missed you guys.
What's up?
What's been going on? I hope everybody had a great holiday break.
What?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys got to spend time with family or just hang out or do nothing and relax or...
Yeah, like, what'd you do?
Yeah, like, what'd you do? Let us know how you did. We really hope you guys had a great holiday. We definitely did. Had lots of friends and family coming to visit, so packed house.
It
Honestly,
was a packed house.
We kept joking. We're like, are we running a B&B?
For real.
It was so much fun, though.
Buttermilk pancakes.
Ooh.
We had buttermilk pancakes.
Ooh.
We had bacon and buttermilk pancakes.
And buttermilk pancakes. Wow. Can you say that 5 times? Buttermilk
Probably.
pancakes. You're so funny. So we are back with chapter 2 of Macabre Mondays. Oh my God. We are here. We are ready. Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Yes. Are you guys ready? Because chapter 2 is going to be oh so spookier, oh so stranger, and oh so sinister.
I apologize for the mic.
You keep squeaking in that chair. You look like SpongeBob squeak boots. The clean boots or whatnot.
Cue clip.
Pretty cool, huh? Now I'm an official fry cook.
But anyways, friends, families, lovers, ghosts.
Ooh.
Anybody out there, really. We are so happy that we're back for season 2 for our chapter 2 of Macabre Mondays. Over the past year, we've made many new friends. We've met some really incredible creators on here. We've connected with listeners from all over the world, all of you guys. And honestly, that deserves a proper celebration.
What?
A proper celebration.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, well, tomorrow we will be releasing a special anniversary episode to officially close out chapter 1 of Macabre Mondays.
Really?
Yes, and celebrate all of them. All of you guys when we're in your little ears. Me, 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 me.
ASMR.
Oh my God, ASMR, imagine.
Can you believe it's already been a full year and we have now come back to where we started?
Yes, back to where we started after 1 year. Our anniversary is on the 20th. And I know this episode is out on the 19th, but that's why we will be back the next day.
The next day, you say?
The next day we shall be. So stay tuned because we have a surprise waiting for you just to say thank you for all the love and the support that you guys have given Macabre Mondays and us, honestly. It's been so great.
But what's the surprise?
Oh, you guys are going to have to find out tomorrow when you hear the special anniversary episode. It's not going to be anything crazy long, so if you guys have some time, it'll definitely fit in your day for sure. But that's all I'll say. But the only other thing I will say is make sure you are following us on socials, okay? Because socials is going to be ooh, oh my goodness. Oh God, chapter 2, and we're back to it. We're back to it. No, it's gonna, you're definitely gonna need socials, so just stay tuned, okay? Now, Tom, baby, my love, my husband.
That's me.
Also, for those of you who are watching us, okay, because I know some of the listeners don't watch, but Buddha is sitting right behind me in my chair. Now, mind you, he is a golden retriever, 85-pound golden retriever.
He's a thick boy.
Yeah, he's a thick boy, thick, beautiful golden nugget, and there's not a lot of room behind me. So if I look like a Victorian princess right now because of my posture,
she's not wearing a back brace.
I'm not wearing a back brace. That's all I have to say, okay? So on to the next. For our first episode, back chapter 2, let me ask you something, Tom. and listeners and anybody who wants to answer, what would you do if you walked into a house, but you immediately felt like something was off?
Okay.
Okay.
Here's
dive in a little bit.
thing. I was gonna say, give me a little bit more.
I'll get there.
What is off? What am I not enjoying?
Okay.
What do I want to
Let's
stay
say
clear of?
you walk inside this old house and the air feels heavier than it should be. You hear normal sounds that old houses make. A creak there, maybe a little settling of the walls here. But you don't think the sounds are coming from where you think they are.
Asbestos.
No. Where do you think we might be heading today? Okay, let me just go throw you there. That might have been a broad question. Apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think we're going today?
There's a lot of homes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Demon house.
Oh my God, in Gary, Indiana?
Mhm.
No, but that's one of the episodes that we definitely gonna have to cover because that one's a spooky ooky one. Okay, what state do you think we're going? Where are we traveling?
Kansas.
No. You're out of answers for the day. That's
Okay. No Taco Bell tonight.
it. No. Well, today we're actually heading to San Jose, California to talk about one of the most famous, well-known haunted homes in America.
I know. Pick me.
Anybody else in the class?
Me.
Anybody else? Oh,
Me. My
nobody
name's
wanted to
Tom.
volunteer.
Tom.
Where?
Winchester.
We are going to the Winchester home. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, we are going to the Winchester Mystery House, everybody, okay? Strap in. This house is not only beautiful, but it is a maze. And I mean that quite literally, okay? Quite literally. What is a Winchester house, you may be asking? Well, I know you know, but
I was going to say, the listeners may be asking.
maybe they may be asking. It's, at its core, it's just this massive Victorian mansion and the landmark in San Jose, California, okay? But calling it just a house doesn't really cover it because it's a very unique piece of history, architectural history, to be very honest, too, because, wow, okay? If it wasn't so confusing, I'd live there, but there's just too much going on, okay?
Tom, where are you?
Where are you?
I don't even know.
I can hear you down the shaft, but you're really on the other side of the house. Yeah, no, seriously. But when people hear haunted houses, right, they usually picture something old and creaky. You know, I mean, maybe you'd probably picture like a mansion that's maybe been sitting untouched or no one's lived there for years.
Cobwebs.
Yeah, exactly. Cobwebs, like cats, you know. Maybe
the cats in the cradle and
the silver spoon, little boy. Okay, yes. But this is not really it, okay? Because this house actually started small and then it just didn't stop. From 1886 to 1922, construction never really stopped at the Winchester house. Before it became the house that we know as it today, the owner and the designer, Sarah Winchester, actually bought a 45-acre orchard.
Wait.
Oh my God. Which one is it? I always say it wrong.
So it's beginning.
And so it begins. The apple farm, okay? 45-acre. And there was a farmhouse on it that originally had 8 rooms and grew into the world's most very unusual and sprawling mansion that we know today, which features it's 24,000 square feet.
Okay.
We've got 10,000 windows. 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 160 rooms, 52 skylights, 47 stairways and fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, 6 kitchens, 3 elevators, and a barge bridge and a pear tree and 2 basements. Two basements.
Okay.
Dude, girl was building. Girl was like, I'm building this home. It's giving Lego. It's giving Lego. Yes. Beautiful architectural Lego, though, because it's absolutely
not
stunning.
even giving regular Lego. It's giving, I am a child building my Lego set, and I'm just going to put 17,000 windows on this one side and none on this other.
So that's what you would think, right? I had the same thought. I was like, what do you mean 10,000 windows? Like on one side of the house? Like, where do you fit that? Let's say like it's a wall. Instead of it being an actual drywall wall, whatever with the studs. It's window panes. So it's things like that.
Oh, look, Marty's sleeping.
Oh, what's he doing? Yeah, and these windows, like they could be peeking into another room in the house or somewhere. So it's very creepy. It's very creepy, honestly, right off the bat. But building this at that price tag at the time in 1923, it was $5 million.
That's it?
That's it. Today, and I converted it because I was like, oh my God, that's it, $5 million in 1923. That it goes to $71 million today. I know.
Wow.
And the crazy thing is that at one point, the house was at its tallest. Before 1906, the house stood 7 stories high. 7 stories, my guy. That's insane.
It doesn't even look like it's 7 stories, though.
Right, because right now, before that's what I'm going to get into. Before the 1960s, that's all.
Rewind.
Rewind. No. Before 1906, the house was 7 stories high. That all changed in April 18th of 1906 when a 7.9 magnitude earthquake hit San Francisco. And the surrounding area of it, the quake really severely damaged the upper floors of the house, causing the tallest sections to collapse. So what we know of the Winchester house now is it was taller than that.
Yeah.
It's just that it
they
actually
just
had a
rebuild
tire.
the full... Okay.
They didn't. After the earthquake happened, they tried to do what they could, where they could. So the house now, it even, like if you do go visit, they say that there's even structures in there from the earthquake that they haven't really fixed, or there's like ripped paneling and wallpaper and this and that.
That sounds safe.
No, but I don't know. I'm sure it's up to standards yet, but I know what you mean. Obviously you can probably look in. It doesn't seem like you can go, which I will say. Oh, go.
I was going to say, you know what this house is now starting to give me?
What?
Betrayal.
Oh my God, the game? Yo, yes, the game that we just started playing. Yeah, the board game.
Broseph just walked into the room. Well, Broseph just fell down to the basement.
If you guys are into super spooky, well, it's not. I mean, it is a spooky game, but if you guys are into board games, we started this new board game over the holiday break, and it's called Betrayal. It's like a story game essentially, but every time you play, it's a different outcome. So you're pretty much exploring this mansion and you're opening up rooms as you go. And each of the rooms, obviously, they don't make sense where they go. So the Winchester house is definitely giving that vibe, but definitely check out that game. It's super fun if you like storyline type of games, and it's spooky. So that's a big plus. But so yes, it was 7-story high. It damaged all the upper floors of the house. And the tallest section that it had was actually this like tower. No joke. It looked like this peaking tower. Keep going because you'll see a photo of it. You see the tower? Yes. So there's this tower upside. So doesn't this look like a castle of some sorts?
I was going to say it looks like a lookout tower.
Yeah.
Granted, knowing who owned it,
right?
Mr. Winchester.
Yeah.
And his wife.
Yeah.
All I think of is, well, let me test out my rifle. I'm just going to go to the highest point and just shoot into the yard.
No, seriously. Like that Family Guy episode?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. So it was a lot taller than it was before it collapsed. But even without knowing that, this is where people really start to feel unsettled, because when you walk through the house, from what I was gathering, it doesn't feel planned the way that most houses do. It really just feels layered. Okay. Like pieces were added at different times without worrying how they'd fit together later. Hallways are suddenly very narrow. Rooms change ceiling height. You'll walk through one doorway and feel like you've stepped into a completely different house, which I've seen some videos on YouTube of just people who have gone.
Toured and stuff?
Have toured it. And you can, side note, you can actually do a 3D virtual tour on their website, on the Winchester House website. Yes. So I think you just have to pay like $8, but...
All right, guys, that's it for... $8.
$8. You do have to pay $8. But it's
Never
okay.
mind.
It's okay. Yeah. No, but if you do want to tour it virtually, you can. And the photo that they just show you outside of it is so... Like, you know how they show you how the whole house looks like from a distance, and then it zooms into a room?
Oh, yes,
okay,
yes.
so before that, it looks gigantic. Like, I could definitely see why it says it's built the way that it is. And here's the thing. So what I was saying, I watched some of the YouTubers that have gone and toured it, and it literally looks like One minute they'll be in an attic, and then the next room they're in a greenhouse. It's very, it's super
It really
confusing.
does sound like the game we play.
It really does, doesn't it? I know. So here's the thing that people don't always realize is that a lot of these features weren't built to be creepy originally like we know it today. They just became creepy later because over time, a lot of tour guides began pointing out things like the staircases that lead to nowhere, because there is one that just leads to nowhere. So you have to be careful because it's actually like a door that if you open it, you're literally going to fall in the parking lot.
Oh,
yeah, it just leads to nowhere.
Fun.
There's doors that open into other walls. There's windows that face other rooms. So those details slowly became a part of the legend of the Winchester Mystery House that we know of today. And the legend is that Sarah Winchester believed the spirits of the dead were following her, and that as long as construction never stopped, neither would they.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can imagine, okay, once this takes hold, interesting. Because the minute this legend takes hold, every odd design choice that she had made in that house really starts to feel almost intentional.
Huh.
Like it was built for either something or maybe someone. Before any of those ghost stories, though, before the house, before the legend, there was a real woman at the center of all this. Her name was Sarah Lockwood Pardee Winchester. Sarah was born in 1839 in New Haven, Connecticut, into a very wealthy family. Her father was a successful carriage maker, which at that time, I mean, she grew up very comfortable, very educated. Everybody was going around in carriages, so...
That was the way to get around.
That was the way it was. He was pretty much like an automaker, literally, yes.
Wow, I never even thought about it like that. You just blew my mind.
Are you being sarcastic?
No.
Okay,
no,
I was
I'm
like,
actually,
damn, I'm just trying to be like fun. Like,
just think about it. Back then, everyone was all, do you have a Rolls Royce carriage?
And then you got like the sleazy carriage salesman. They're like, you want to get your carriage here, don't you? What do you want? I'll lower the price to $10. Don't worry about it. Yeah, like all that. There's probably all that. It's just in a different theme, a different film, a different light.
I'll give you 5 pounds of beans for your carriage, sir.
Get the hell out of here, sir. What do you think I'm running up? Okay. She grew up rich, okay? And by all accounts, she really did live up to that. Sarah was highly intelligent. She was fluent in several languages, including French, Spanish, and Latin. Homegirl was educated. Okay. She studied music, art, and science at a time when women weren't encouraged to do nothing much beyond just hosting dinners and being a housewife. Friends described her as soft-spoken, but very sharp, and that she was always very polite, but very independent. Now, she wasn't flashy with her money or wasn't very loud. She wasn't someone who enjoyed much attention. From what I was reading, in 1862, at 23 years old, Sarah marries William Wirt Winchester, the heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company.
Okay.
Yes. So he was the man who, because I'm like, who the hell is Winchester? I don't really know what's all that about. Okay. Now, he created the gun that made him so famous. It was the Winchester repeating rifles, which from what I was reading meant that if the gun was used, you could shoot up to 15 rounds of ammo in one take. And so at this time, since they're using, you got to pack your gun and all that to shoot.
Black powder, you had to.
Yeah, he was, I mean, this was
gunpowder?
This was beating everybody in its path. Nothing was stopping it. 15 rounds. No one had heard of it before. So you can imagine, not only is she wealthy already, girl, she's set.
She's protected too.
She's protected. Oh yeah, that's true because of the guns. Yeah. Now, William was also known to be very kind and reserved, much like Sarah herself. They got along very well. And together they lived a quiet, wealthy, and privileged life in New Haven, Connecticut. And for a while, things were really great, but that life unfortunately didn't last too long. Sarah's life actually changed in ways that would shape everything that came after. In 1866, just a few years into her marriage, Sarah gave birth to her only child, a daughter named Annie. But unfortunately, Annie only lived for 6 weeks.
Damn.
Yes.
That sucks.
She died from a condition that doctors at the time called marasmus. Never heard of it before, but it was a severe form of malnutrition that modern medicine now understands a lot better, obviously, but back then there was really nothing that they could do for it. Now, one of the questions that I have now, remembering that, is if they were so wealthy, why is she malnourished? But maybe I'm
Well,
misunderstanding malnourishment in a different way.
If it's not a food or a nutrition thing, but something more with how the body takes on.
Yeah, probably. I didn't look that one up. That now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, interesting.
Drop your answers in the comments.
Yeah, because in my head I'm like, malnourished, I immediately just assume and think food, water. You know, I'm like, it's not like they were going without milk, eggs.
I need some milk.
Now, for Sarah, this loss was devastating, as you can imagine. Friends said that she really withdrew herself from everything and everyone around her. And she did it pretty quietly because 15 years later, in 1881, tragedy struck again. Will ended up dying from tuberculosis at the age of 43.
Damn.
Yes. And in a matter of months, she not only lost her husband, but she ends up losing this life around him because now he's dead. But when William died, he left Sarah one of the wealthiest women in America now. Well, at the time, right? She inherited roughly around $20 million in assets at the time.
Holy cow.
And 50% ownership of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. Yep.
Damn.
And so I looked it up and I was just like, okay, so that will translate an income of about $1,000 a day in the late 18,000s. So that would be millions by now.
Wow.
Per year. Like if you did it, by today's standards and everything. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yes. So he pretty much left her anything. Annie died. She's, it's just her now at this point. But as we know, she has all this money, but she doesn't have anybody with her now, right? Now, within that same period, Sarah also lost her father-in-law, which was another close presence in her life. And by her early 40s, Sarah had to bury her child, her husband, and a lot of key members in her family.
So it's really, if you think about it, majority of her family's gone.
Yeah. So she's rich, but it sucks that she's...
And now she's got
lost everybody.
Giant ass house with nobody.
Well, yes. Now, there were later retellings in the newspaper that people would kind of frame her as unstable, like the town would talk about it, that she's just kind of like this crazy widow or whatnot. But there was just a lot of gossip in that, which is sad because she's grieving. She just doesn't grieve like everybody else. And that's fine if she wants to be locked up in her house.
She just lost basically her whole family.
Yeah. Instead of gossiping, how about we go check on her? How about we,
Baby, that wasn't a thing back then.
No, I know. I get it. But I'm just saying. Now, it was said that she just kept so to herself that she actually denied 2 visits from the president.
I'm sorry. Who was the president at this time?
Actually, I don't know who the president was at this time. Wait, hold on. Now I need to look it up because, that's a good question. Hold on, I got you.
What year was it?
1881. Not us like, oh my God, who's the president?
It was Mr. James A. Garfield.
Oh my God.
He was the 20th president. And at the time, Vice President Chester A. Arthur was the VP.
Oh. I was like,
oh, shit.
What?
No. My apologies, everyone. So the VP was Chester A. Arthur. However, I forgot. James A. Garfield is one of 4 presidents we've ever had assassinated. He only served 200 days before getting shot. He was the 2nd shortest presidency in U.S. history.
Oh my God. No way. I feel like I need to learn more about Garfield.
He didn't even get a full year.
Damn, dog. Assassinated? That's crazy work.
Yep. 1881, September 19th of 1881, and then Chester Arthur became
who was him?
President.
Who was him before? Who was the president before?
Before him?
Yeah. Not just going down this time.
Rutherford B. Hayes.
Oh, wow, that homeboy. Okay. Well, I'm not entirely sure which president she denied visits, but regardless, it was 2. And also, this is all gossip.
Yeah.
So at this point, take it as you wish.
People could be spreading rumors.
People could be spreading rumors, even though, that's a very nice rumor. She's like, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, literally.
Back then, it was actually somewhat seen as such a big insult, imagine, though.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
And so that was why it was such big gossip.
Right.
Can you imagine? Did you hear that?
Got nothing to do.
She didn't accept the president coming to visit her.
That's so much. I'd be like, oh my God, leave Sarah alone.
Like, shun her.
Sarah, she's shunning herself because she doesn't really give a fuck about anybody else. No, but there are no medical records diagnosing her as mentally ill from what I could see. There's no letters from friends calling her irrational or erratic behavior. She was just very reclusive. But what is documented is that she ended up choosing to leave New Haven, Connecticut. She was actually suffering from severe arthritis and doctors recommended a warmer, drier climate. and she had sisters that were living in California. So in mid-1880s, Sarah did something very unusual for a woman her time. She decided to pack up her life and ended up moving to West California.
Oh, so she didn't even own this home.
She didn't own it yet.
Oh.
She bought it after everybody passed, and she decided to leave Connecticut because she got the
Okay.
severe arthritis from her doctor, and it's like, you should go somewhere warmer.
Okay.
So
And
she's like,
then
all right,
that's why. Okay.
I'm gonna go over to California, because she also had sisters there.
Huh.
Yes.
Huh.
And that's when she ended up, because she's looking for a home. That's in 1886, 5 years after her husband's death. She purchases what we know today as a Winchester house, but it was just a house because it was on a 45-acre orchard, and it was just sitting right outside of San Jose, California. And sitting on the property was a very modest, unfinished farmhouse. It wasn't grand, and it certainly wasn't strange at all. It was just your typical house that we all live in. But the original house had actually 8 total rooms. Standard layout, a few bedrooms, a kitchen, basic living spaces, and all that. Nothing about it really hinted at what it would eventually become that we know today as a Winchester house. But at first, Sarah's plans were pretty simple. She wanted to just expand the house, make it a lot more comfortable, have a lot more rooms for guests and family members. And for a while, that's exactly what she was doing. But over time, the house began to change in ways that felt less than ordinary. Sarah started adding rooms, not all at once, but she was doing it gradually. One wing here, a hallway there. Let's just throw in a staircase. Let's add it here to connect the space that maybe didn't fit before.
You know what? We should have this staircase that just goes straight to that ceiling.
Yeah, I know, but seriously, she has this literal rooms like that, literal staircases like that, which is insane. Now, I was like interested because I'm like, okay, is she working with an architect or what's going on? Now, she did hire architects early on, but she quickly let them go because from that point, she was like, okay, like, if you don't agree, then fine, bye. Like, I want this done the way I want it done, and I'm paying top dollar, buddy.
Everyone's like, ma'am,
That makes no sense.
why do you want this? I said I wanted it. You're fired.
Did I ask you? No, dead ass, literally. And she's out here like, but also she's paying. So a part of me, I'm like, girl, I get it, right? I get it. But I also get what they're saying. Come on, what is going on? I know, what is going on? So Sarah became the primary designer herself. All herself.
Now.
What the hell was that? Oh, I got my phone.
Oh.
Dude, that scared the hell out of me.
I was like, the hell? Now, my question is, when the original home, since obviously she just continued to expand on it,
right?
Is part of that home still in existence
I don't
within the
know.
Winchester house?
I don't know. I would assume so, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I think that if you go on a tour, they probably, because they have
probably
different
know
tours.
everything.
They have different tours from what I was seeing. It's like the tour of like the paranormal side of it, and then the tour of just the history of the house. So I don't know. That's a good question, though. I would assume if she's building off of it. So yeah. But I don't know.
Interesting.
Good question. Now, she was sketching ideas. She was adjusting plans. She made decisions as the house grew, pretty much like in the spot. And she really didn't commit to a single vision. If like she didn't like it, she was just going to change it. If the room didn't feel right, she's going to alter it. If the hallway felt unnecessary, she'll just block it off and do something else, and then so forth and so forth. If she wanted more light, that's when she just started adding windows. Even if those windows later would face another room, she didn't really care. She's like, I'm going to put it right here. Which is giving me, not going to lie, you know when you first play The Sims and then you have to build your own house?
Yes.
You're like, oh my God, what am I doing?
You start with only like 2 rooms and then you just add
and you
on.
expand. When I first started, I used to be, dude, my house would be massive. I'm like, there's like so much room in here. Why am I, they don't need all this room. What the hell?
Damn.
I'm like, God damn. Like, shit. The fuck? Construction was coming in bursts. There were workers that were sent home during extreme heat. They would pause when Sarah would travel, and during the different type of economic ups and downs, she pretty much kept people employed, often paying them 2 times above daily wages.
Damn.
Yeah. 2 times above daily
really
average.
Did not want that construction to
No,
stop.
from what I was reading, she was a very generous employer. Like, she was just overall a good person from what I was reading. And she would offer workers free food, free housing, which, mentioning that.
I mean, you got the space.
No, dead ass. I mean, just sleep in the attic. You can sleep in the greenhouse. You
Just
can sleep
build
in the
your
tea
own room.
Yeah, just Do your own thing, man. This might be yours in the future. I really don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm not entirely sure. But which mentioning that, because the fact that she would pretty much offer like free housing and free food, she was such a good person and would treat everyone so well that no one would really end up questioning why she wanted to do things. They're like, okay, I mean, if this is like, again, it's her money. If this is what she wants and she treats us well, like, what are we going to say no? Like, if she wants us to build this room and then take it apart and then build it again and take it apart, best believe I'm gonna build it, take it apart.
Extra money.
Take your money. It's especially if she's being a good employer too. She's so kind. So
as
yeah,
long as she's nice.
Yeah, because she's really not doing anything wrong. It's just she's got a very odd request.
Odd way of decorating and building a house.
Yes. So this in itself, this doesn't feel like a frantic woman like building out of fear. So you would think. This is just someone who's very involved in some type of long-term project that she's not sharing with anybody but herself. Because no one else knows about the floor plan or the house plan. There you go. God damn, Buddha. Okay, sorry about that. Buddha had to move from the back of my chair. Now, this is the part of Winchester Mystery House that most people recognize immediately, even if they don't know Sarah Winchester's name, is the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
The paranormal. The spooky.
I know about this.
And are you scared?
No, but it's kind of interesting. I can't wait to get in. Because every time that I think I know a story, then all of a sudden you just start telling me stuff. And I'm like,
wait,
oh.
That should have asked you, because I know you know about the Winchester house. What about the house do you know? Or that you did know before I told you thus far the back end
I was going to say, up to this point, I thought that her and her husband had purchased the house, and I thought they had lived into the house. I thought they had moved into the house together. So I did not realize that she moved in after her husband, she lost her child. I thought all that had happened
while she's at the house. Yes. Yeah. Don't they do that in the movie? Well, I don't know. I haven't watched the movie, actually.
I've not watched the movie.
Wow. Jinx, you owe me a foot rub.
Okay.
Oh, you're so sweet. No, we should watch it though. I haven't seen it, even though it is, from what I hear, is a spooky movie.
Yeah, then the other thing, I knew it was haunted. Okay. I knew that there were rooms that led into nothing. I also knew that there were some rooms that you can't even get access to.
You can't.
Because of how they built it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that is because BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah, they covered it, which is really because they also go.
And they
also go and stay there.
Touched.
Yeah, they barely touched the house. Yeah, they barely touched the house because compared to knowing how big it is now, and there are people there from what I was seeing, like reading interviews from workers, that they still have yet to uncover everything in the home. So they're still going. They're still finding new rooms, new passageways, new parts of the house.
And I was going to say the only other thing too is the thing that I didn't know about the house was that it was, I don't want to say a modest house, but looking at the photo, it was what you would expect a typical family home to look like.
Wait, you're looking at the whole, you're looking at the castle one? Yeah, the OG one before the earthquake? What about
it? It looks very similar to a typical everyday family home that you would see for...
What, for like the Prince of Dubai? This shit looks insane.
You're talking about...
Oh, I'm on the wrong slide. I thought you were quoting the original house. No, I'm sorry, the original Winchester house before the earthquake that had the tower and everything.
No. I'm talking about the home.
Yeah, you're talking about the
purchased
farmhouse that she purchased.
Added onto it.
Yes.
That is just a modest house.
It's a modest house. Yeah.
I initially thought the other photo you're talking about, I thought that was what she and her husband were initially living in.
Oh, so you didn't know that it was what it was? No. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
I thought it had already started as a massive freaking house, and then she just continued to build on to that.
Yeah, no. That's not how that works. Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay, so that's all you know.
There's been a lot that I've been learning.
Okay. Very nice. Very interesting. I love it. I love it. Now, because once you start walking through this house, right, it becomes pretty clear that it doesn't really behave like a normal house would, which makes total sense, right? I mean, it's wrong enough to throw off your sentence. Now, you'll be moving through a hallway that feels pretty normal, and then suddenly it narrows, maybe the ceiling drops, maybe the light changes, maybe the air feels different.
Okay.
Maybe you hear someone talking to you.
I don't like that.
Maybe you feel a presence with you.
Yeah. I was enjoying this episode. I'm starting to not like this now.
And then you end up realizing that maybe the house isn't guiding you forward. Maybe it's redirecting you. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to take a hold of something.
Of what?
You.
I don't like that.
Now, here's what this looks in real terms. We're talking 47 staircases throughout the whole house, okay? There are doors that open into walls. There are secret type of passageways, but they're really not. They're just doors that open without thinking about it, and they lead you straight into a plaster wall. There are also doors that open into nowhere. Like I said earlier, we've got the 12-foot drop outside where upper floors used to be. Okay, so a door just randomly could lead you to the kitchen or to your death, literally.
It really also gives me Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
with all the moving
house.
staircases,
Yeah.
where all of a sudden you come walking up on a staircase and you're like, shit, it's not to where it needs to be yet.
And that's the thing, like that's what I was reading, is that from like people who said who have gone, it really just messes with your sense of direction, because you also have to think about it. There's 10,000 windows. You may be walking through it and maybe there's a glare from 3 rooms over coming in. I don't know. Like that would just be you.
Yeah, it feels like
yeah,
you can really get turned around in this place.
No, you definitely can. You definitely can. Some of this is just constant remodeling, because some came from the earthquake damage because of, you know, they just pretty much built around it, and some just came from choices that Sarah simply made because she could at the time. So when you stand in the home trying to figure out how one room connects to the next, you start to feel something subtle happen.
Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly why, for so many people, this is the moment where the house stops being strange and it starts feeling like you're being watched.
I don't like that. Don't like it one
if
bit.
there is one room in the Winchester Mystery House that people fixate on more than any other, it is the seance room.
What?
Mm-hmm.
There's a seance room?
There's a seance room. There is a seance room, okay? This is the most important room in the legend of the house. Tucked away on the 2nd floor, far from the grand staircases and public-facing rooms, is a small, unassuming space that tour guides now call the seance room. It isn't large.
What?
It isn't ornate.
Why do they call it the seance room?
Well, the reason why they call it the seance room,
I don't like it.
when you do walk into this room, okay, before I tell you why they call it the seance room, you really don't know what you're looking for, because you could pretty much pass it without realizing that it even mattered at all. It's also a room that Sarah was the only person allowed in the seance room, and the only person with a key. She's the only one that could go in and out and knew exactly where it was. The room has 1 normal entrance, but it has 3 exits.
Okay.
Interesting, right?
That's okay.
Interesting. 1 normal entrance and 3 exits. 1 door leads to the back of the house. Another opens into a hallway, and the 3rd opens into a steep drop into the kitchen below. Now that detail alone is enough to make someone pause and like, why would you do that? Because it kind of feels intentional, right?
It feels very intentional. It feels like, well, what if I want a late night snack?
And
Let me just
jump down.
3 stories.
It feels weird, right? Yes. Now this is the room where the legend really takes root.
Okay, let's just go on in.
According to the legend, it was said that Sarah Winchester would come here late at night. Some versions say maybe midnight, could have been later. Some say after. Regardless, it was late at night. She would sit alone in the dark and attempt to communicate with spirits.
Why?
Not for comfort, but for instruction that as long as she kept building more rooms, the spirits would leave her alone.
Now I'm picturing this like the TV show Ghost, and there's more ghosts, and they're just talking to her
just
saying,
backing up.
look, Sarah,
Oh,
we
I
need
love
a
that
new
you mentioned that.
room.
Yes.
Can you add on?
I love that show.
We got friends coming in.
Yeah, it's like, can we do
They
this
can
instead?
leave the property.
She's just trying to abide by their wishes, which essentially is what is going on. Because of all the victims that the Winchester rifle took, is what the legend says, is that she's trying to appease those spirits that her husband pretty much created this gun and killed.
Yeah.
Now, the legend claims that the spirits tell her what to build next. Literally everything down to the fucking studs. And according to that same story, she would leave the room through a different exit each time so that the spirits wouldn't follow her. So that's why there's 3 exits. Keep them confused.
How many times did Sarah take that exit going down
Well, we don't.
Plop into the kitchen.
I don't know how that room was. If it maybe always was like that. You know what I mean? But it's at the center of the house, so yeah, it has to have always been like that.
Imagine she had a rope hanging, so she would walk out that way.
Who's
That
to
way, any
say?
spirits that followed her, they'd be like, "Oh wait, whoa!"
Well, it's funny because that's the thing that she obviously did that because she was trying to. What they say is that she did that so she could confuse them, so they wouldn't like follow her. So, but it's just so unsettling. It's so chilling.
It's unsettling, but watching the movie Ghost, they can just walk through walls.
They could just walk through walls, but I mean, maybe they see it. Obviously, Ghost is supposed to be fun and cute that we can enjoy. Imagine it's really not like that.
And that's how I'm thinking about everything now. It makes it better.
It makes it better, I bet. Now, the eerier part is that Sarah didn't write, like, that I could see of any type of diaries or letters, or there's nothing that really... It's like she would go into the room, from what they say, and then, like, she would be there doing her thing, talking to spirits. And she head to bed. Midnight snack, and then she'd head to bed.
That's so weird.
Now, the earliest writing claims that I saw about seances didn't really happen until decades later after her death, long after the house had already been open to the public. But what is true is that spiritualism was extremely popular in the late 1800s because seances weren't this extreme thing at the time like they are now, essentially. They were actually a social thing that you would do at parties. And many educated, wealthy families participated, especially those who had experienced loss.
Oh.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
Hey, Steven, did you want to break out the Ouija board?
Shall we contact Mummy?
Mother knows best.
No, literally, that's what's happening there. Now, Sarah almost certainly definitely knew about these beliefs because this was the time of them, so she could have been exploring them herself at the house, which is essentially why they call it the seance room.
That's so crazy.
It is really secluded and oddly designed. And another interesting fact too, which I think I just mentioned it earlier, but the whiskey's hitting me, is it's at the center of the house.
Yes.
It's at the center of the house.
I think you did mention that.
I did mention that. Okay. Everything's always going to be moving around except there. So yeah, it just definitely can't be. It's creepy. It's creepy. But Sarah ended up living in this house for nearly 4 decades. She ended up dying in her sleep on September 5th of 1922 at the age of 82 from heart failure.
Damn.
Yes. So she actually didn't die in the Winchester house itself, but at another home that she owned in San Francisco.
Was it another McMansion or was it just normal?
It was just a normal house. She honestly was also like a real estate investment. She owned like 7 properties in the Bay Area.
Damn, okay, tycoon.
Yeah, no, and then she ended up even buying a piece of land in California to build a suburb that she wanted to do like a whole suburb there. But it didn't get to. I mean, I'm telling you,
Wow.
Sarah had her fucking pilas on. And that means, sorry, that means she had her batteries on. In Spanish, that's how you say pilas. Like, ponte las pilas. Like, put your batteries on. Let's go. Like, Sarah was
You
not
said
playing.
that, and I'm just like,
You're like,
all the listeners, same thing.
They're like, pilas? What?
Okay.
Ponte las pilas. And Sarah had it. Sarah had it, dude. Like, she was killing it. No. So when she passed in 1992, this woman who lived this long private life, in her will, she ended up leaving the majority of her estate to her niece, along with money for friends and relatives and longtime staff, from what I saw. So in reality, if this whole story, whatever you're taking away from it, be like Sarah, you know? Now, the Winchester house itself was included, but it wasn't treated as some type of sacred or untouchable house like we kind of see it today. It was simply just a property. And after her death, the stuff in the house were actually auctioned off. So everything that she had was pretty much gone. And that's when things ended up changing, because I read that with how the house was built, it didn't have much value. That there was more value in the land than the house itself. To think that she spent $5 million on that house and it didn't appraise for that is insane.
I won't lie. I could see if they listed that house, Ryan Serhan listed. If they listed it, this would 100% be an expensive ass property.
For sure.
Just out of the oddness around it, tourism that can be sold through it.
That's the thing now. So 6 months after her death, the mansion was actually purchased by investors who saw something in it immediately, as you could think. We can open it as a tour, right? So they actually opened it to the public in 1923. calling it the Winchester Mystery House
Huh.
because it does have this history to it. And they really leaned into the architectural history of it. And they talked about the strange rooms, the unfinished construction, the rumors of the seances, the spirits roaming the halls.
Here you will see the work of the great architect from 2020. 2020?
You're like, huh?
I mean BC.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll
whoa,
imagine
hold
that'd
up,
be
what?
insane. They're like, what? This
Yeah,
Victorian
there was a
architecture is
ghost.
insane. This is insane. So now the house ended up going from this private living space, Sarah Winchester's house, to pretty much a tour, like a mystery house that you can go
Yeah.
tour now. And now to people who are coming here and spending their money, they're arriving to see something strange happen because they're like, what is up with this house? This house makes no sense whatsoever.
Not me. I just want to see the home.
Tom's like, I'm just here for the history, and then I'm out before 2. I can't even. I'm not.
Yeah,
no
Sarah,
thanks.
your friends that are here, you.
That's what
I
I
come
mean.
in peace. I just want to see the home.
That's what I mean. That's what I
I
mean.
heard you did great work.
Now, one of the things I was reading that I think that you'd find very interesting is that there is a legend too that Harry Houdini, the famous magician, okay, later in his life, he actually ended up staying at the Winchester house. Okay.
For real?
That's what the legend says. So according to the story, Houdini walked the halls of the house, observing its very strange and unique architecture and hearing the stories of the spirit activity. He wasn't doing that to communicate with the dead. He was actually doing that to understand why people were saying that it was haunted. Because what I was also reading about Harry Houdini that most people don't know of, he is a magician. He is an escape artist and a showman, but he was one of the most aggressive critics of seances and mediums.
Yes.
And I didn't know that. And so he pretty much was going there, legend has it, to see if it was haunted or not. Yeah, debunk it or not. He was actually like going to seances uncovered. He was exposing mediums of people like lying. It was like a whole thing.
And that's why I think he was so successful at what he did was because he knew he was, in my opinion, to this day, still is considered the greatest magician to have ever lived. And he knew how all this stuff works. So since you are literally the greatest, it'd be like somebody going to Messi and saying, oh, I know how to kick the soccer ball in a way that you've never kicked it before.
Right.
Messi would just be like,
okay.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. You kick it, blah, blah, blah. Same shit. That's what he would do at medium stuff because they'd be like, come and talk to this and watch me make them move this. And then he'd show up and just be like, oh, so the way he did it was he had this, and this, and that made that move.
Right. So that's the thing. So he was really kind of calling out spiritualism and saying that it was like a fraud and all that. So that's why the legend is that he's actually one of the investigators who visited the Winchester Mystery House after Sarah passed in 1922.
Wow.
But he actually passed away in 1926. So I don't know when, but the legend said that he went in between then, okay? And he actually passed away on Halloween. Are you kidding me? October 31st?
And wasn't it his great trick that he died from, or?
No, I think he died from something else, that it wasn't his trick. I could be wrong. Look it up.
Oh, my goodness.
Appendicitis.
Yeah, from a student that had repeatedly punched him in the stomach backstage before a performance.
That's crazy work. Really? That's what it was? I just remember reading something where I'm like, wow, that's what you died of? Knowing all the crazy tricks that you did is insane.
It literally says, in Montreal, while Houdini was resting, a university student asked if he could withstand a punch to the abdomen. Houdini agreed, but was unprepared for the student's repeated forceful punches.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. So Houdini's drawn to the Winchester Mystery House, okay? Most likely because he's trying to see if it's a fraud or not. So it ends up adding more to the legend itself. Now, there's no records that I could see of like what he experienced when he was there, but his name is attached to the legend because the great Houdini, okay? Now, over time, visitors and employees started talking about something else. Not the layout, but the feeling that the house would give you. Now, these experiences weren't all dramatic. There was no screaming or flying objects that you would normally see in quote unquote
haunted house.
Yeah, poster child haunted house. But most of them were very quiet and subtle. The kind of moments that people really hesitated to talk about because they weren't even sure what had just happened. Now, when I was learning about the house and, knowing that they have employees, my immediately thought is, I'm sure that the employees are probably experiencing something.
They have to.
They have to be. They probably
You
see
have
a lot
to.
more than,
It's like employees of the Stanley Hotel. All
right,
of them
like,
have stories.
They all have stories, exactly. And one of the things that I was reading is that employees were often the first to mention a lot of unexplainable moments. So people who work there every day, they obviously are going to know the sounds of the house. So they'll probably know when something maybe sounds a little bit off or not. But some of the most repeated reports were things of footsteps that you would hear empty sections of the house. You'd know it's empty, and then you just hear like footsteps above you, only to find out in that moment that no one's upstairs because all your employees are around you.
That's not creepy at all.
Imagine going to work to be scared. I mean, a dream, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm scared every day.
Or there's no floor above me, and then you hear creep.
Yeah, you hear like walking. That is so creepy though. Yeah, imagine that. You know how many times now I hear our Roomba upstairs go and I'm like, oh my God, is somebody upstairs? No,
Yes,
it's just Ghostface.
Ghostface always be knocking stuff down.
Yeah, he's always doing that. But one of them is footsteps, and then they hear voices and whispers. Sometimes people being called their name when no one is nearby.
Nope. Sorry. Turn in my resignation.
Leaving. Now, one of the other things too, they also hear doors and windows unlatching and moving on their own, even when there's no draft. And they suddenly have felt cold air specifically to just certain rooms, while the rest of the house feels normal.
There's probably just a draft.
Maybe. But then there are sightings.
Oh.
Over the years, a few names have surfaced again and again in stories from staff and investigators. Okay, the most frequently mentioned name or ghost is Clyde.
Okay, that's
Clyde.
a friendly name.
That's a friendly name. He's believed to be the spirit of a former construction worker who's often described wearing early to 1900s work clothes, sometimes pushing a wheelbarrow or tending to a fireplace in the basement.
Poor Clyde's still freaking working.
Just still working. But what's strange is how consistent people describe him. They usually will like mistake him for maybe a living employee or realizing that, damn, that actually is nobody. What the hell is that?
Hold on. That construction worker just went through the wall.
Yes. Now, the other ghost that they hear often is John, which is another name that was linked to reports of a male presence in the house. John is less clearly defined from what I was seeing, but he's often associated with footsteps or shadowy figures or the feeling of someone standing just out of sight, but just enough to make you feel and
John's
know that you're there.
shy. See, this isn't
crazy.
that bad. No, he's
I love
just
how you turn
shy.
it. I love how you turn it so you don't scare yourself.
I'm just being honest.
And then you finally have Dan, who is said to be connected to the house's maintenance and mechanical areas.
That would be a Dan name.
That would be a Dan name, I will say. Now, he's usually reported when it comes to doors moving or tools being disturbed, or maybe there's activity around the workspaces rather than the living room or the bedroom areas.
He's still looking for that 10mm socket.
He's like, dude, oh my God, it's been years. But the fact that some of these same names keep repeating, clearly it's something very spooky. Okay, there's also reports of a woman dressed in black, sometimes described as being small and wearing like this veil over her head, which reminds me of that what is it, what's that movie you watched, Lady in the Yard?
Oh yes,
yeah, that was spooky, man.
No, that was crazy.
Crazy movie. That was a crazy movie. But there are reports of a small woman wearing black, and she's seen briefly in the upper rooms where before her body just pretty much disappears when someone gets closer. So she'll just be like out and about, and then which is even scarier in itself.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, and another thing too that I was reading was that when Sarah passed away, people claimed that they saw a small figure through the windows while they were like, if you're walking home and you can see the house, that even after she passed away, that you can see her sometimes in the window.
Oh,
which is so
that's
spooky.
Sweet. Oh,
she's dead.
I know, but she just came back.
You were so spooked out.
No,
I can tell.
She just came back to her house.
So
she's just hanging out. Dan's still doing the maintenance for her.
I ended up finding this clip on YouTube. It was from an ABC7 News Archive report, okay? In 1983, long after the house had been opened as a tourist attraction, because remember, they bought in like 1922? Yeah, 26, Houdini died. Yeah, so they ended up buying it around that time. So this is 1983. There was a couple named Ernie and Debbie worked there overnight. They were the night watch couple. And according to, from what I was seeing, they lived inside the mansion for nearly a decade as part of their job, and both described very eerie experiences that didn't make a lot of sense to them. Debbie said that she once felt a hand move across her head one night and then wondered whether she had really felt it or maybe that sensation just ended up lingering throughout the day. She said that it lingered throughout the day.
She probably had a fever.
Ernie spoke about unexplained alarm activations that just went off on their own, and they had a dog with them that stayed with them in the house. Their guard dog would reportedly hesitate to walk down a particular hallway unless it was like flashlight, like unless there was light.
I mean, makes sense.
And alongside these experiences, Debbie mentioned seeing a statue she called the Indian, something that sometimes looked like it moved when seen out of the corner of her eye. Now, these stories weren't part of the original lore, but they have been retold over the years as part of the house's like modern myth and unexplainable stories. And then we get to the photos of the ghosts.
Oh,
Because there are plenty of sightings here.
love that.
Now, on the Winchester Mystery House's website, which I'm going to link this specifically, okay, they have a place where people can submit photos that have gone to tour it, and if they feel like they've captured something paranormal or a spirit, then they will send it. Now, you guys have to go check them out yourselves. I'm not going to post them because I don't have the
Rights.
I don't have the rights. I don't have the permission of said person who sent it to them. But I think it's better that you guys go see them yourself. They are so freaking scary, man. They're spooky. Because some of them, you know how sometimes you look at a scary photo and it's like a figure and you try to make sense of like how, you know, is it a shadow? Is it maybe the lighting or whatever? Some of these are just kind of unexplainable, I guess, as you could say. Honestly, no, I'm going to say spooky. They're definitely 100% spooky. But I'm going to link the exact link from that website in the caption. So then if you guys want to go check it out, it'll be easy for you guys just to click and check. But for the listeners for people who are listening, okay, I'm going to describe
Oh, great.
what you can see. Now, Tom, you see that photo right there, right?
Yes.
Now, the photo I want to mention was shared by Kayla L. from California. It was taken during the flashlight tours in October of 2010. She noted that the front of the house was roped off and no one else was around. And as you can see in this home, it's dark out. It's nighttime. When she went to go look at her photos later after taking a photo of the front of the house, that's when she ends up noticing what looks like the figure of an older woman standing in the front steps in a white shirt or maybe like a white dress.
Are we not going to talk about the other two right next to her?
Those are statues.
Oh.
This is the front of the house. So those are statues. And you can clearly see what looks like a lady standing there.
No, it's very clearly
It's
a lady.
very clearly.
Yes.
And no one was there.
I don't like this.
Yeah, well, you're not going to like the next one. And it's always a white dress, right? Now, there's a second photo. This other photo scared the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie when I saw it.
The fuck?
It was shared by Christina S. from California. It was taken during the last tour of the day on November 2nd of 2025. She mentioned that it was taken down a short, dark hallway with no one in front of her and no glass to cause a reflection. It looks like the shadow of a freaking man wearing a hat. Or, you know, what's that, the devil? I put a photo of him here. The devil from Insidious, the lipstick faced demon.
Oh, I forgot that was from Insidious. I was like, why is there a picture of Darth Maul?
Darth Maul? No. The devil, essentially, from the movie Insidious. Does it not look like that? Guys,
Yeah,
it's
I don't like
literally
this.
a photo. It's dark. It's an illuminated hall. I'm sorry, not illuminated. It's a dark hall. And you can tell there's like just very... not a minimal light around it, but you can clearly see this black male figure. I don't even know what the hell it is, but you could definitely tell it's a figure just standing in the middle of the hall.
I was having fun this episode.
I know. I was going to end it off. Yeah, sorry about that.
Well,
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Now, there's a third photo I want to talk about.
oh, great.
I want to talk about this third photo. And another one that really, really messed me up was this photo that was shared by Cheyenne A. from Nebraska. She visited in the spring of 2021. Later that evening, while reviewing her photos, she ended up noticing a black figure at the end of the hallway that looked like a woman wearing a veil, black veil. And it kind of reminds me like the freaking woman that I was talking about in Lady in the Yard.
It looks like a spitting image of the lady in the yard.
And remember, the legends, they say that while they're in that home, there have been sightings of who they believe is Sarah, a very small woman wearing a black dress with a black veil.
Huh.
And isn't that, that's just so scary. Also, wearing all black, wearing a veil, don't like it.
I mean, she died.
Classic horror movie. Like, it's just a scary, classic scary.
I think she's just wearing her funeral stuff. That's it.
I don't want to see that when I'm working. No thanks. Now, I'm going to leave the link in the description, like I told you guys, because you guys have to go check it out. There's a ton of other photos. I'm just not going to repeat all of them right now, but those are the top 3 that really spooked me because I was like, oh, that's chilling. That is so chilling. Which one's your favorite?
None. But if I had to choose, it would be the one on the front porch.
In the front of the house?
That's so eerie.
No, that's eerie, right? Because you literally see a womanly figure dressed in white, and it's ghostly. I feel like
we definitely have to have at least one listener that's been to the Winchester House.
Oh my God, if you guys have, if any of you have, please tell us your experience. Send us any photos. Tell us how you felt, what you didn't feel, what you did feel.
Ooh, what you did
feel. We believe it. We'll believe you. Tom's going to be a skeptic.
I was just going to say, I'll be a skeptic.
Tom's going to be a skeptic. But once you see those photos, like, it's really not hard to wonder why so many people walk past the house without, thinking something's going on. And also, like, imagine just walking past the house and you're like, why is that lady in the window? Is that lady really here?
You're like, it's 2 a.m.
Oh, that's interesting.
The house is closed.
Yeah.
All the lights are off.
Very strange.
Interesting.
Are you going to be able to sleep tonight?
Yes.
Oh, yay. That means I've got to go harder.
No.
I've got to go harder the next episode. You want to be famous, don't you, darling?
No, not this. No, because the worst one the only thing that made me not sleep so far, genuinely, was that darn movie.
Oh my God, have you guys seen the movie together with Dave Franco?
Don't watch it.
I had my best friend visiting last week, and she stayed with us for the week, and we're watching like different movies. One of the movies we ended up watching is Together. They were so freaked out. It was really freaky. No, but you guys were like so freaked out.
It.
Yeah, don't watch it. It's so scary. You should watch it. Let me know what you think.
Don't watch it. Don't. You're not going to sleep.
You're not going to be able to sleep, and it's giving cult uncanny vibes. It's insane.
Unless you're Ale, because then the movie's over, and your friend and your husband are both going to be looking at each other going, what the hell did we just watch? Meanwhile, Ale's just going to say, so you guys want to get ice cream?
They're like, no, I'm going to throw up. That was so scary.
I was falling asleep at the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie, not a big deal. I was falling asleep. Next thing I knew, I was wide awake until almost 1 a.m.
He was wide awake in the point that we go to bed. He is like falling asleep. He's already pretty much sleeping, but it seems like he's half in, half out. I yawn verbally. I'm like, oh.
No. This is what it sounded like. So imagine hearing that after a terrifying movie and you're in your sleep. All that sounds like to me is a Death Eater sucking my soul out of my body.
Yeah, and the movie has a little something to do with something similar.
No. And I'm not even scared of Death Eaters, but that movie and the sound.
Yeah. The sound.
It was awful. And I woke up, I was like, did you hear that?
No, he was like, was that you? Did you just yawn? I'm like, yeah, it's just me and you, babe. Don't worry. And he's like, oh my God. And goes right back to sleep. But yeah, they both had a very, very not so great sleep night that night. I'm so sorry.
I had a great night sleeping that night.
I didn't know that that's how it was going to be, but yeah, but either way, we hope you enjoyed today's episode, okay? And make sure you stay tuned because we are going to release an anniversary episode tomorrow.
Ooh.
And it's going to have a little something special for everybody that we really want to share and celebrate with each and one of you. So, yay, I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
I'm so happy for you guys. Thank you guys for coming every single Monday, supporting us, listening to the episodes.
It's been amazing.
It is.
We love you guys so much. So we want to do a little something to celebrate you and celebrate this close of a chapter that we've got. Chapter 1 of Macabre Mondays. Time to go to chapter 2. So,
Flippin'.
thanks for joining us today on Macabre Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you know more about today's episode or caught a detail we might have missed, let us know.
And as always, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you have a story that's strange, sinister, or just downright spooky, does not matter how small you may think it is, shoot us an email, macabremondayspodcast@gmail.com, or jump over to our website, macabremondays.com, and submit your story. Yours just might be featured on an upcoming listener episode.
Yes, or you can even DM us. Honestly,
Yeah,
wherever
just
you
shoot
can
a
reach out to,
DM.
just shoot a DM.
Basically to send us your story.
Yeah, seriously, please. Follow us on social media by searching Macabre Mondays for photos of today's episode, updates, and a little extra spooky fun. We'll see you next Monday for another sinister, strange, and spooky episode. Stay tuned. More mystery. It's just around the corner. But until then, stay curious and stay safe, friends.
Deuces.
Bye.